Hello and welcome to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. It is, of course, Tuesday, November 9th, 2021. Welcome back, y'all. Hello and welcome. Hold on. Where's this coming from?
Might have been a feedback loop from me.
From you. Gotcha. Freaked me out there for a second, but guys, we're here, and yes, we've got apparently we got a little cross chatter from parallel universes apparently, but we're here, and the boys are back for a Tuesday installment of the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Bitcoin hits all-time highs, Ethereum doing something similar, and overall the whole market cap of the crypto space swells to over $3 trillion. Hey, there's even that ENS airdrop today for anybody who had an Ethereum name service .eth address as well. That was pretty exciting to get 2 tokens donated overnight to the cause. But guys, we have a lot of news and TA to cover today, and we got our boy Jason with us this afternoon to do TA. Let me put him on screen actually. Jason, let me get you on screen here. Oh man, he's hella transparent, but you know what, we'll put him on here for now. And
Post all my trades, man, you know that.
Yeah, you know, I'm just gonna, let's try this. Let's do it like this. Yeah, here is Jason. Damn, that's hella green. Maybe I'll turn that filter back on. But dude, how's everything going? How are the trades? Do tell how life is going.
I'm going well. I mean, it's different checking in with you guys twice a week instead of every day now. And it's actually interesting to see just the differences in the way that me, Alex, and Justin do things. But the trade's been going well. As for pretty much the plan on where we have been expecting. Yesterday took 4 trades, I believe. Here we go. We ended up taking at close yesterday ETC USDT, which has already hit TP2, Phil USDT, which hit TP1, EOS USD. I used the perpetual swap. EOS was one of those ones that just looked super interesting to me yesterday and kind of broke one of my rules, but ended up paying off. It already hit TP1, and then Didex is a little bit underwater right now. So 3 for 4 on the day is real good to lock in all of that to make sure that we're in no loss situation, especially for when we start to go sideways like this a little bit. Interesting stuff on Bitcoin and Ethereum all-time highs. Usually we get some more all-time highs. Doesn't mean we can't get a little bit of sideways here, but I'm interested to get into it.
All right, very exciting, guys. We are going to, of course, get into TA. Jason will be doing his daily scan of the charts, letting you know what he thinks. Of course, Alex gave you his dose of TA yesterday, so very excited to hear Jason's thoughts, and I'm glad to hear the trades are going well. Bear with me, guys. I love dialing in the filter, the webcam filter. With that said, this looks good for now. Let's get into it. We do have about 90 minutes in store for you. A very exciting 90 minutes awaits. We are going to cover everything from this intro into the news before we dive into a look at the bubbles. Yeah, we'll see how the alts are faring today. It is a pretty green day in the alt space, about what you'd expect. And then, of course, we'll shout at the audience and get into the TA portion we just mentioned. All right, go ahead and get into it. Let's get into a little bit of news here. I'm going to put Jason's webcam away for the time being and get a little focus on some news. Here's this first piece from Crypto Briefing. Discord may integrate Ethereum, but users aren't happy, this reads. I'm actually kind of excited about this prospect. Let's have a look. Founder and CEO Jason Citron teased plans for Discord implementing Ethereum and NFTs on Twitter yesterday. The move, however, was met with backlash from a significant portion of the community who are now threatening to cancel their Nitro subscriptions, citing environmental and money laundering concerns. Yeah, in case you guys didn't know this, Discord being kind of a gaming oriented, kind of a normie app. I don't know if you guys know this. Users. But these gaming normies, these Reddit type people of the world, they're not really crypto people. In fact, most gaming people actually have a rather negative opinion of crypto. They think, like it says here, environmental impacts, money laundering, right? Scammers, drive GPU prices up. That's the common sentiment, so I'm not surprised to hear Discord community push back. But let's take a deeper look as to what this is about. Discord users are outraged over potential crypto NFT integration. A tweet from the founder and CEO Jason Citron has resulted in social media flurry over Discord's potential cryptocurrency integration. In a reply to a blog post discussing the platform's future, Citron posted an image showing Discord integrated with crypto wallet MetaMask and the Wallet Connect protocol, adding probably nothing. Equally, I guess. Imagine, so here's this little tweet here. Okay, I got it. So there's a little Discord hint. A hint at potentially, yeah, here it is actually, probably nothing. Cool. Even potentially hinting at they've already messing with this integration. Imagine MetaMask connectivity to Discord. Honestly, I think this is coming, and I think this is coming for a lot of platforms, not just Twitter. Twitter, we've seen recently also announced something similar, or at least hinted at something similar, where you will be in fact able to connect your wallet to it, and then do additional like verification, you know, which I think is important because, like, look, Discord's inundated with a lot of bots and stuff. Imagine maybe you know, blockchain stuff that's blockchain enhanced verification steps to get into a Discord server. It seems like integrating Discord and MetaMask would be not a bad idea. I'm actually looking forward to it, but I get it. The Discord rank and file might not be so happy. Let's see here. The overwhelming majority of Citron's tweets replies are unhappy with the idea of integrating crypto and NFTs with the messaging app, with multiple people citing Ethereum's electricity usage as a serious environmental concern and calling NFTs Ponzi schemes and money laundering schemes. Furthermore, community members have started crowding the Discord feedback forum with posts sternly critical of potential update. Many of them claim to have already canceled their Nitro subs or threatened to do so in a protest of the move. Elsewhere, a thread posted on the Discord subreddit titled "Discord developers, please do not support NFTs" has gathered over 4,000 upvotes. Most of the posts strongly oppose this move, calling NFTs a sham and a honeypot for scammers. Discord is a messaging platform with over 140 million monthly. Wow. So see, goes to show you how much protest, right?
There's a lot of people on Discord, so
yeah, and a lot of them clearly don't. They want to steer clear out of NFTs and crypto in a great degree.
I'm not sure why that specifically, but I mean, I get some of the concerns, but
I don't know why they're so upset exactly. I mean, no one's obligating you to use it. Nobody's saying, you know, you got to get MetaMask and log in with your MetaMask. Somebody says you have to pay for your Nitro subscription.
You're not gonna have to KYC to Discord or some shit. Right? I don't know what you're doing.
Well, you know what it is? It's just, again, a huge aversion by, you know, kind of a part of the internet, part of certain kind of internet, a big swath of internet culture, I have to say, is very much against these things. They consider NFTs a Ponzi and a scam, and this whole thing, you know, dubious. So there you go, guys. Very interesting though, and I certainly hope this comes because, hey, I'm a man of crypto. I'm a man of NFTs. I'm love to see this kind of integration come to the space.
More the merrier.
You know, it'd just be really cool to have you know, verification and like check marks for users. You know, you would really kind of separate the scammers from authentic users if you know, you could have a profile that's beefed up. You know, you got the bona fides right next to your name that say, you know what, you are a real user, you have a serious blockchain, you have a serious address on the blockchain, and you even have these NFTs, and it's all signed and verified through Discord. It would be quite authentic, you know, just to add that extra bit of security, especially in a space where you know, there's so many scams, so many DM scammers, so many impersonations and social engineering scams.
It's incredible on Discord, man. Like, I get at least like 12 of them a day of like NFT projects and stuff.
And this is why I think a sort of blockchain Web3 implementation will actually beef up security. I hope the Discord people come around. All right, enough of that. Let's get into this next piece, guys. This is titled Fed Poll. Financial industry participants are more worried about crypto than climate change. This comes from the block Crypto. And let's see here. On November 8th, the Federal Reserve published its latest financial stability report. The report highlights a range of vulnerabilities in the financial sector, including a section on stablecoins, comparing their risks to money market funds. Referencing a separate report for the president's working group released last week, the Fed's appraisal was the following. Certain stablecoins, including the largest ones, promise to be redeemable at any time at a stable value in US dollars, but are in part backed by assets that may lose value or become illiquid. If the assets backing a stablecoin fall in value, the issuer may not be able to meet redemptions at the promised stable value.
Like
Yesterday,
the government printing money.
well, kind of. Well, you know, when did the U.S. dollar ever let you down, right? Yesterday's report also featured two polls of industry participants, one conducted in the spring and one in the fall, asking them to name potential shocks to financial stability. And the spring poll found that crypto and stablecoins were in 9th place. Have a look here. What are the major risks? You guys wonder what the bankers list under the top 10 risks to the system? Let's have a look here. Number one, hold on. Let's start with the spring report, right? So this is what bankers, let's just call them bankers, cited as industry risks in the early part of 2021. Well, there you have it. VAX-related variants. How about that? It seemed like the concerns around, you know what, were at the top of mind earlier this year. What else? Sharp rise in real interest rates. Net interest rates is kind of blurry. This is a low resolution photo. Real interest rates. Sharp rise in real interest rates. Inflation surge. U.S.-China tensions. Real asset value. Sorry, guys. This is really low res here. Crypto attacks. And EME stress. Interesting. All right. So what about now? Where do we stand in the fall? What has risen to the top spot? Persistent inflation, monetary tightening. Well, there you go. Out with that, and now inflation is top of everyone's mind. And now, and falling to number 2 is of course the resistant variants. And finally, we got number 3, China regulation. But crypto comes in where? Stable coins, cryptocurrencies. Number 5. This is what keeps these bankers up at night. Cryptocurrencies, the 5 biggest headache according to this Fed report. Let's see here. Issue a stablecoin backing becoming a major bone of contention among U.S. regulators. President's working group report requested greater statutory authority from the Congress. Blah blah blah. Yeah, we covered this in recent weeks, of course. Basically, they do have authority, but what kind? They still have to iron out. Well, we'll learn more in the future. But there you go, guys. You wonder what makes the bankers stay up at night? Here's the ranked, here's where crypto falls in under top 10 biggest concerns. Alright, let's get into this next piece. ZY Crypto writes, Bakkt is going to be allowing customers to buy and sell Ethereum for the first time. Bakkt is now setting to allow customers to trade Ethereum as it seeks to cast a wider net. This is the first foray of the digital asset management firm outside of Bitcoin. That's right, guys. Ethereum is the second, I guess, the blue chip. If these are blue chip assets, yes, Ethereum's number 2, and as such, here it is coming to Bakkt. All right, don't need to add too much more. I guess Bakkt super relevant, maybe, but hey, here they are adopting Ethereum. All right, next, Cointelegraph. A piece concerning Tim Cook. Tim Cook says he bought crypto but rejects Apple adding it to its portfolio, at least for now. Apple Chief Executive Officer Tim Cook says he does own some crypto as part of a diversified portfolio, but he's not planning for the tech company to follow Tesla's example by investing in Bitcoin or other tokens. Speaking at the New York Times Deal Book Online Summit November 9th, Cook said he would not use the company's roughly $200 billion in cash, this is Apple's, of course, $200 billion in cash on hand to invest in crypto. He also said he does not intend to accept crypto as a means for payment for Apple products, at least for the immediate future. Here's an extended quote from... Yeah, right. Might take some time before the Apple stores are going to be taking your Bitcoin bucks. But with that said, here's an extended quote from Cook. It's not something we have immediate plans to do. I don't think people buy Apple stock or get exposure to crypto. If they want to do that, they can invest directly in crypto through other means, which is completely fair. I mean, they sell Apple products. They're not meant to be MicroStrategy or hold.
Yeah, we're not Bitcoin's rising price. Like, that's kind of...
Yeah, just fair reasoning, completely fair reasoning.
Wait for a bigger pullback.
Exactly. That's the case now. But as a technology company, you're going to look pretty dumb, I think, not having Bitcoin on your balance sheet eventually, right? Let's see here. However, Apple CEO, personally worth more than $1 billion, said he owns some crypto when he asked about investing in Bitcoin and Ethereum. I have been interested in crypto for a while, he said. I've been researching it and so forth. I think it is interesting. Cook's statement may come as a bit of a surprise to many in crypto space, given the CEO has largely not taken a public position on digital assets despite controlling one of the largest companies in the world.
He owns one of the largest tech companies. Why wouldn't he be interested in it? It'd be weird if he wasn't.
But what's weird is that he really been pretty quiet on it, right? So this is basically the first time Tim Cook, I guess, is confirming that, yeah, I'm into crypto a little bit. You know, I actually got a little bit is what he's saying here. So, of course, I guess he's not Elon, right? He's not as vocal as Elon, but clearly has his ear to the streets of what's going on in these crypto spaces. With that said, let's go ahead and get to the next piece. What else do we have here? Bear with me 1 second. All right, on to the next story we go. Bitcoinist writes, Robinhood hack sees millions of users' data exposed. Oh, say it ain't so. Breaking news, Robinhood hack apparently announced today. Robinhood recently announced that its systems had been breached, leaving the data of millions of users exposed. The trading app is one of the most popular for trading stocks, and with the advent of meme coins, it has become one of the first contact points for new investors looking to get into crypto. This has boosted its user base to more than 22 million in 2021, all of whom were left vulnerable in this data breach. Wow. Let's have a look how many people actually affected. Don't tell me all 20 million. This attack has taken place on November 3rd. Wow, so it was just the other day. According to Robinhood, the attacker had gained access by calling a customer service representative of the company and somehow gained access to the support systems through the call. Wow, social engineering attack. Horrible. This is how it happens a lot of the time, though, guys. So Robinhood had caught the breach when it had occurred and followed up with the appropriate authorities to keep its systems safe. However, the attacker was already able to get a hold of millions of user data before the breach could be contained. The perpetrator had threatened to take action with the data they acquired, but Robinhood confirmed that it was indeed not a ransomware attack, declining to state if the attacker had what reason the attacker had for ransom, if the one had even been provided. About 7 million people in total are said to be compromised in the breach, although to varying degrees. The vast majority of affected users, about 5 million, had their email addresses compromised. Further, 2 million had their email addresses and full names stolen in the hack, while a smaller portion suffered extensive data breaches, as Robinhood announced that about 310 users had email addresses, full names breached, in addition to birth dates and zip codes, I guess. 10 users saw their attackers take more of their data, but Robinhood has not revealed what exactly this data was. Alright, so, you know, varying degree of your data has been stolen. The great danger, if you, of course, are one of the victims, is that people using, you know, your email, I guess, what do they have? The basic, your email and your full name, they can attempt to also engineer social attacks, right? You know, by having your email, maybe they can contact certain providers, your accounts on Coinbase and so forth. With your full name, it's possible somebody can contact, like I said, Coinbase customer service or so forth. Maybe your banking, your other institution, and they can start, you know, reverse engineering your identity and maybe figuring out a way to attack and maybe steal from you guys. That is the major threat you face if you have had your varying degrees of your data compromised by Robinhood in this attack. Let's see, implications of this attack.
There's some people doing some digging right now. That's what's going on.
Yeah, on the dark web at least. Robinhood shares fall 3% on the news. Admitted, yes, blah, blah, blah. So Robinhood assured users the breach has been contained. No funds were lost. No social security, bank account, or credit card information was stolen. Robinhood enlisted the help of a security firm to help investigate the data breach. They're conducting a thorough investigation, blah, 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 blah. Alright, so Robinhood users, a little bit of a bad news afternoon. Getting into the last story of today. Comes from iProtos, or just Protos, I guess. Angry crypto traders lose money and angry crypto trader loses money and tries to burn down a crypto office. What the hell is this about? Let's go take a look.
Whoa.
Yeah, you know, you done up when
talk about revenge trading.
South Korean police arrested a 40-year-old crypto trader in Gangnam last night. Or is this Gangnam? Gangnam, that's how it's pronounced.
Gangnam style?
Gangnam style, exactly, just like the song. In Gangnam last Thursday for the attempted arson of the exchange's customer service Center. God, I can't read today. Police responded to calls about a man pouring lighter fluid and threatening to set ablaze to Upbit's flagship support offices in the South Korean capital. The unnamed individual told authorities he was upset after losing money with the crypto exchange. Contrary to other reports, police say he was only trying to set fire to the building and not himself. Local media initially reported the man had doused himself with flammable substance and threatening to burn himself down along with the Upbit office, but it was determined that the flammable substance were merely sprayed on the floor and blah blah blah. Alright, so police came and they cleaned the situation up. It goes to show you.
He lost all his doggy coins.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised, man. I would not shock me, because the amount of complaints I heard in the last couple of weeks of like, oh my god, I tried to get out of Sheeb at the top, and you know, Coinbase was down, or Crypto.com was down, and what, you know, I heard a lot of new, I guess new users, I guess was in a lot of cases, a lot of new users who I guess have never experienced the server outage phenomenon on exchanges in the peak of excitement, right? They had their first dose of you know, not being able to sell at the top, and they suddenly very sour feeling about this whole crypto thing. So I kind of guess not that I'm encouraging anybody to do anything like this, guys. Of course, do not perform any kind of criminal acts or anything like that. But I'm just saying, I can see why central exchange failures drive some people to do crazy things. Stay out of trouble, don't get wrecked. Avoid that leverage slider at all costs. Take our Pathways to Profits course. Take what we do here at CC to heart.
You shouldn't be using leverage if you don't know what you're doing. Like, it's just like the amount of leverage that you're using should never matter. Like, a lot of people don't understand that. It's just a good tool to utilize in order to not have to keep as much on an exchange, so you can still trade with your account balance, but rather not keep all of your funds and then just have to go either spot or something like that. Like, when you're using this, you know where your stop is, you know where your entry is, so you have a stop loss within that. So the margin that you use just needs to be outside of that. Other than that, you shouldn't be using leverage, right? Like, a lot of people don't understand how to use it, and I think that's the problem.
Yeah, you don't. There's a position sizing and, you know, stop loss calculation you ought to be doing before every trade. Want to take a guess how many retail traders actually do that? Not a whole lot. And
that's
like
because they're not really trading, in my opinion. They're just trying to get rich.
Basically, yeah. And like this South Korean homie, he probably got wrecked. Then you try to contact customer service. You know how this customer service is with these operations. It can be very frustrating to get the support you're looking for. And yeah, then you flip you know, you promptly march over their offices and do something crazy. Don't be like that guy. Check out premium.krakencryptocurrency.com.
Don't be that guy.
Step up your trading game. Avoid getting wrecked. All right, with that said, we got Jason back on screen. We're going to continue into the next segment. We're doing great on time today. Let's go look at the bubbles. What's going on in the alt space today? Well, it's some mighty green. Live peer LPT is up over 123% today. Big gains on that. But beyond that, there's a lot of decent gains in the form of LRC. Loop Ring is back. It's having a 42% day to the upside. Shout outs to LRC holders. We got Litecoin. Is Litecoin finally waking up? I guess whatever last few times we've been looking at that Litecoin chart, maybe that was a type of bottom that we were scoping out every single time, because here's Litecoin. It's up a little over 20% today.
I even said last week to be looking at Litecoin Bitcoin because it looked primed. And then with Litecoin USD also breaking out of its downward trend, like usually when those two things correlate, it's game on, right?
Indeed. So that's Litecoin. Ethereum Classic showing up on the leaderboard today, making a nice 13% day for itself. Helium Network up 16%. X is, I guess, seeing a nice bounce. X is seeing a 15% day for itself. Let's see here. A Dash, Groot, and a few more with double-digit gains. ADA coming in just under 10%. EOS had a nice 10% day today. So mighty green. The alt space, a little bit of profit taking on CRO, for instance. Got a knockout couple days. CRO is down 11. Usama's down
but that's nothing in comparison to the last few days of gains that it had.
Exactly. Anna, Kusama, and KDA, Rune, Omizago, Luna among single-digit losers today. All right, let's go ahead and continue. Up screenshot.
It must have kicked me out.
Deal. Icon or
Hold on.
all right. Quick look at doubles, guys. Get into the segment. Look, audience engagement. First in the chat, Mr. Ether, Robert Warren. In that is here. Balance, of course. Let's continue. Ruben Santos, haven't seen you in a while, buddy. Shout outs to you with your, and I see your ADA request. Get into that. Cybernetic. $300 for a swap right now on Ethereum. Oof, big oof, and
Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. Gas prices are just wild right
it's
now.
bonkers. 2.0 can't come soon enough. I have no idea how this eco gains.
You see?
All right, Cybernetics Finance 2.0, y'all. It's the future. Yep, this is invented. Action fee. Profit Bear. Big shout outs to you on Jordan. David, what's up, y'all? On DLive. Alex81 is DLive running. Hi, guys. And here comes Crypto Jenny. Hi, guys, from back Crypto Jenny. Cybernetics. If I owned an elevator, Jack would be my Muzak guy for show.
So you think Jack would just want to hang out in your elevator?
Talking about the... Yeah, that makes sense. Guys. Jonah, love the show. Hello, everybody. Hope y'all y'all are well and are in profit. Yeah, we are in... I'm somewhat in profit, I guess. Yeah.
I'm certainly in profit.
I've got some liabilities on the books, but I've also got some great gains. Auto bags. Not complaining. Plus I got that ENS here. Let's have a look here.
Icing on the cake.
Yeah. Like that. I'm like that. That meme. Jason Statham wiping his eyes. Dollar bills.
Oh yeah. You poor baby.
I'm in good shape, but I'm still those. Let's continue. Alex1233. Hello. Good evening. Anthony Cox. Time and Cardano, please. Time. Which time is that? I remember owning time back in the little token called Bank Time. I'm guessing it's time, and I wouldn't have that Bitcoin back. Anthony Cox. Put up about all-time high. Quietly go to 100,000, and then let everybody take all the cash. Okay, I'm with that. Keep it cool, reserved, and quiet up to 150. Then we let the gates open and we jump on their head. Jonah, love the show. 3 trillion now. Market cap, that is. Baking it. Not now with us posting 2 trillion.
They're
there. 8.
Twitch.
It's
at like 10.
That or this whole thing is gonna go down in history
As the biggest bubble of all time.
Biggest ultra commodity bubble. But with that said, let's continue. Hey Jack, hey team, when you get there, I'd love some TA on MATIC. Add that. Request, hang tight. Requesting TRIAS. Okay, hang tight. Add that. Any word does up and it's cybernetics. Must hang. Nato. Crypto Cats on DLive. Polly B as well, big shout out. Polly B, major regular of the chat. Mono Train. Regular and B-Flow, you too. Can't print money to remain solvent. We can. That's the way the government David Rice. Domains. Yeah, that's basically how I look at the .eth. Some of these blockchain-based domains are basically NFTs of them.
I think some people are having issues with your mic.
My mic.
They
Weird.
said that you're fading in and out. I don't know.
Weird. Okay, maybe it's just maybe I have it too low on my face. All right, maybe that'll work a little better, guys. My apologies for the mic issues.
Sounded good to me.
When you look at Bitcoin, Alex says, what could a GTFO price for the cycle be? I personally don't think we're going to get to 100K. All right, well, we'll consider that. Upside targets for part of the TA segment. I want to dream big, my man, so I think we might blow 100 easy. The best part would be face melting 200, 300K Bitcoin. That would be suitable, and that is what makes Bitcoin a legend, this game, all right? I want to see that 17 type hype where people were astonished to see it march up past 1,000 just to end up hitting 20,000 later that year. Yeah, so, you know, people are here going to be surprised to see 100K. All right, then in that case, let's march all the way up to 300 and melt their faces. And indeed, it would probably be part of some amazing blow off top. You know, let's see a drastic correction, but nonetheless, come on, baby.
I don't even know what the news would be on that, right?
You know.
Like it would be something that would be history, right?
I guess it would be. It would just be Bitcoin. It'd be doing what Bitcoin does, and that's pump. And I don't know, is 100, 200K really that absurd for this cycle? You know, you just be 10xing previous all-time highs, right? It's not too unprecedented for Bitcoin. So that's my take. But I can also understand why we might have trouble getting anywhere near to 100. We'll see. Polly B, I see your DFI request. Hey, DFI is looking better. My DFI bags are turned back up. I'm almost at break even. David Rice, I see your request as well. Jonah loved the show. If Bybit was near to me, I'm sure I'd throw a few gallons at them too. Oof. Big oof.
Bybit's always been good to me, man.
Now you know why these platforms keep their locations secret. Good luck figuring out where Binance HQ is. CZ operates in the shadows.
That probably moves every day.
Can't burn my HQ down if you don't know where we're located. That simple. We're like we've got that floating airship, like what is it, Shield? Yeah, we're like Binance is like Shield. They got the airship over the skies, never in the same place twice. ETH1. Hi everybody, big shout out to you. Polly B, NTVRK. I see your request. Hang tight. Boris Bitcoin. Just the last couple more guys. We're getting right into the next segment. Boris Bitcoin. I hope 69,000 doesn't end up being actual resistance zone for Bitcoin. I hope not. I want to see us break through. Let's play with 70s. Let's play with 85. Come on. Alex A1SG. Too many people use leverage to amplify gains and just end up amplifying losses. Made that mistake myself when I first started playing with crypto. Ain't that the truth? Smoke that on YouTube. Do you think Litecoin's foreshadowing what's to come like it has done in the past? Maybe. I mean, maybe we'll look back at historical Litecoin patterns and try to answer that. Kavano Trades. Shoutouts to you. I'm lucky I've learned about leverage trading through CC. Yes, you are lucky. Consider yourself now enlightened. Crypto Bull 21. Gotta throw a toilet paper roll on my fill trade. Okay. I do.
TP.
Oh, gotcha. That's TP. That's what it means.
Fill trade hit TP1.
Sweet. Joining on the show. I love Bybit. Just them wicks have hurt me a few times. I know too much leverage. Fortune favors the brave. Well, you knew, you were warned. Hey guys, just a heads up.
You always have to keep that into account that could happen at any time. That's why you don't go over like 3 or 4x leverage usually. There's always a possibility of crazy wicks, and they always usually get bought up in that moment, and then you're stuck with a liquidated account when price either goes back to where it was or ends up going back up. Like, it's just part of the game. And, I mean, you just can't play it.
Word. All right. With that said, guys, I think I've shouted out a sufficient number of the homies today. It's time to get into the TA. It's what you're all here for. Let's get to those charts. What is going on in the space today? Here we go. Jason's already live. My life is easy today. My everything's already set up in advance. And so this part's gravy. Here comes Jason to give you his take on the markets today. Jason, I'm going to leave your webcam up for the duration of your TA segment as well. I'm going to start rating the comments for your requests, guys. Do enjoy this next part. I'll be back.
All right. Well, I mean, getting into Bitcoin, what can be said other than this is an extremely bullish close? Yesterday on Sunday evening, I got a long signal, but WADA just wasn't completely there. Personally, I did end up taking this 12-hour signal right here but by the time that I took it, it took off immediately. So I couldn't even think about posting it to the group, which kind of sucked, but it is what it is. I would have liked to get the group in this trade as well. But as for now, things look good. We're coming right down to test this old resistance. Just going to have to wait. Things could go sideways here for a little bit. One thing I did want to point out here is this 3-day close. Very bullish 3-day close. Continuation could end up being with a nice little 3-bar play here. We'll just have to wait. But we do have 2 more days of this candle. So I wouldn't be shocked if we get like a 3-bar reversal type play here. And we'll be able to know this with the end of like the next 3 days, whether this is going to end up taking a lot longer or whether this is going to be one of those that just gets kicked right in the ass, right back up. Which, I mean, with the volatility and expanding momentum that we have, could be the case. We'll just have to be patient here. But I could definitely see it coming down here and testing and then giving it another leg up on the 3-day. So we'll just have to be patient with this. Might look to set some orders down here on that 40,000 or 64,000 range to get a baseline bounce off of this continuation. I know Adam yesterday was in the chat talking about 3-day continuations, and I agree with him. In my history of backtesting them, continuations usually get sold into a little bit at first, if not get sold into and just stopped out. Like examples right here, you got continuation, boom, the last leg right before you get that leg down, with a very similar pattern as to here. So it's just something that you got to wait for. They don't test that high, so not that exciting, but it is a very bullish close. The highest close that we've ever had on Bitcoin. So usually when we have a higher high, it's usually it begets higher highs. So I think that that's super interesting. Going to be looking for that entry probably. Maybe I'll put some orders at 64 here, hoping to snag that on the rebound. But as for now, I'm fine being patient with this on the daily. Looking at this here, I did want to point out this chart that I put out here 2 weeks ago on what I think the price action could look like. Not necessarily have to follow exactly the order of when it pumps and when it, but it's just more the levels that it's getting to. And it does appear to be behaving this so far. We'll have to get more continuation up out of this. But you'll see these marks here, the 75,657 and 87,733. I have these levels marked out because looking at let's go to monthly. Just put a fib extension here to see what we're looking at from top, bottom to here. Those should line up very close to my 1%. Yeah, we're at 100% here. Actually, sorry. This needs to come right here. Yeah, right about there. So marking that out, I do think that 75 is well within the range, especially looking at this 3-day continuation. Might have a little bit of sideways, but ultimately I do think that the momentum continues to expand here. No reason to think otherwise right now. I'm not going to try to scare myself out of being bullish just because this is, I mean, at any time it can probably reverse, but one of these situations I think is just to look for that better entry on the setup of the continuation. If you're nervous, you could take it here at half risk and just wait through the drawdown that we'll likely get. But taking this up to that 75 level, I think is most likely going to be the case here based off this pattern. And if we close back below the 13, back below 60, I think that we'll know to get out. I mean, that's probably going to be pretty bearish, pretty big bullish, bearish engulfing candle there. But I don't think that that's that likely based off the daily chart that we're looking at here. This looks very constructive. You built yourself a nice little base here, inverse head and shoulders, and boom, popped up. Now we're testing resistance again, and likely to get that continuation up to 75. So I'm pretty excited overall for Bitcoin here. I think that it does look very good. At any point, of course, that could end. But as long as we keep this support here, I think we could put in a nice 3-bar play. And then hopefully get that bounce off 64, wick down there, and get the continuation up. Maybe, or maybe it just goes. So I'm going to be a little bit more conservative here just because we've we took quite a few positions now. I think we're in, let's see here. We're in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trades. 6 at which are in no loss situations. So I really don't want to get overexcited and start giving those gains back. So as for now, I'm willing to be patient with this, see what holds, and then likely look at it towards on the 3-day. Well, even looking at it here, I think putting it a bit at 64 on that 3-day is the right answer for me. So that's likely what I will do by the end of the day. I like that idea for what's happening here. But other than that, moving to Ethereum. Ethereum looks just stupid strong as well. Another one where I think it begs for a baseline bounce continuation. I think that you'll likely get that step down and then get pushed through. You are getting some bearish divergence here on the daily, something to be concerned about, but overall making higher highs, new all-time highs. I think that we just need to lean on the strength here. Take your pullbacks, but if you get close below that 13, it'll be a nice easy exit for you, a low risk, and then if it starts to go bearish on us, we'll get short. But as for now, I'd rather stick with the bullish sentiment here. I like it. I want it to keep going up, of course. That might not be the case. Otherwise, I'd be FOMOing into the Bitcoin positions. But like Justin said in the market analysis yesterday, we'd love to get into Bitcoin here, but this is one of the reasons why we sit in spot as well. We don't need to take a leverage position here because we are still sitting spot. So we can catch the pullback and get a nice leveraged entry into this continuation and then make some gains. Or if we miss it, we're still spot, still making gains. So like there's not really a loss there. So I think being patient is the right move. Ethereum, great continuation here on a higher high again. Looks like it could use a little bit of a pullback with the bearish divergence, but you just have to wait and see. It does look strong. Moving into DeFi perp, I think that this is wiling up really nicely as well. This did not make a higher. Let's see here. 15307. Yep, I made a higher high here, but got sold into. As of now, there's nothing you can really do with it because you are getting this bearish divergence, as well as exit signals on your oscillators right here at resistance. So nothing you can really do there in the sense of taking a trade that the risk is there. The risk to reward ratio. I'm sorry, because if it does get sold into, you're definitely getting stopped out at this range if we begin to sell off. So I think other things do look better. Dragon Perp, great continuation out of it, but coming right up on this resistance. Do with that what you will. I do like the rising momentum. Dragon Perp, I really do think that this looks like it's going to continue to the upside. You'll have to wait till the end of the day. Hopefully you get a close back above this level. If you do get that close above this level, go ahead and take that. This reminds me of that HNT trade we were talking about last week, I believe it was. Yeah, right here. Off of this one. This reminds me of this chart right here. We were looking at this. It was a little bit lower, but we said you had to wait till the end of the day. You got the close above. Boom, take that continuation, and HNT was just a banger trade. So whether it ends up behaving like that or not, I don't know, but it does look strong here, and a close like that with rising volatility I think would be very good for Dragon Perp to continue to the upside, at least up to TB1. So I like that trade. Exchange Perp getting sold into here a little bit. Not surprising. It's just come up right to this resistance. BNB has been out of control lately, but likely needs a little bit of relief down to test this baseline, if not further down. So I would be targeting around there to look for a reversal. But as for now, nothing to do. Giving you a take profit long signal on the day. Mid perp looks interesting here. I mean, coming right up onto this resistance. Clearly a hard level for this to get over, as you can see. Getting 2 exit signals. Unfortunately, you can't do anything with this today because you are getting that double exit signal with some bearish divergence again. But if I was a betting man, I'd place some bids down around that 3,600. hopefully get a wick down there and then continuation up. I don't know. This could continue. This could act as the new shelf right here at that 44.30 range right here. You can see that there has been historical resistance here, overtaken, then boom, sold back into resistance, pop through, likely get some throwback. I think that look for that 44.30 range to hold as support, and then if you start getting reversals on lower time frames from there, then I think that this one wouldn't be too bad to look at taking back to the upside. There's a lot of room to get here. I think that it's got a lot of room to go in terms of where a lot of other coins are, or where a lot of other things are. So there's a lot of mid caps that need to make up some rooms here, and I think that you're seeing that in some of the alts that are performing today. You're just gonna have to see how this closes, but you can't quite take it here because you are getting that exit signal. Ship perp looking good, coming right up on resistance though. That does suck. I think Dragon perp looks like it's a better continuation than shitcoins here, right up on resistance, but did come up here, gain some support around that 87.50 range, and now getting a nice continuation signal, but very little momentum. Don't necessarily need that for a continuation long, but if I was to take this, look at this trade or Dragon perp, I would take Dragon perp. So the Asian coins look a little bit better there. Gold, last week I said gold was a beautiful long signal. Still getting continuation out of that. I think it still looks very strong, rising momentum. I think gold is good to take much higher here. Let's see. Yeah, just looking at it right from there, is that 1865 to 1900. I think that that's a guarantee. And then likely test 2000. Silver getting sold into a little bit, but I think it's building a very solid foundation here. Actually closed yesterday a long signal. I actually am surprised by that. I looked at this earlier in the day and it didn't look like it was going to be one. Must have just got that pump right at the end there. But a solid long signal here on silver. A nice baseline pullback. I think that this is a perfect entry on silver right now, to be honest with you, especially getting bought back above this, getting pinched right between the 100 and 200 EMA. I think that you're very likely to bust through this very soon. I think silver looks like a beautiful long. Again, I think you could take easily up to 26. If not, back up to test the highs. I think silver looks strong here. Traditional's kind of pulling back here. Not a big surprise considering what they've done. Looks like it's coming back here to test some support. Starting to get some bearish divergence. I would be worried about that a little bit, but usually these things come in threes. So let's just sit on the sidelines with this and just kind of see where we get support from. Got a lot of time left in the week. Everything kind of looks the same here, just getting sold into a little bit with the Dixie kind of languishing sideways, but seeming to gain a little bit of support here. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with the Dixie. And then alt perp is just looking gorgeous right now. Getting sold into a little bit here at resistance with a continuation on yesterday's signal. With the historicity of this resistance, I could see us coming back down to test that the 6098. So maybe there is a little bit of pullback here needed in the alt space, but whether that happens quickly or we get continuation then the pullback, we'll just have to wait. I'm interested to see what happens here. Me, myself, I've never been involved in a cycle such as this to where everything's breaking its all-time highs again. And we're truly going into price discovery of like some uncharted territory that we've never seen. And I'm personally just curious to see how it plays out and keeping my risk low, because DCAing over the long term is one of the things that makes you rich anyways, and making sure you don't lose your capital. So I'm not going to be caught on one of these gigantic pullbacks just by fear of missing out on some gains that I know are going to end up being there in 5 to 10 years. So, but very excited for basically the whole space right now. but on lower time frames, does appear that we're kind of pulling back here a little bit. But I'm going to wait on the 4 hour to see what kind of candle we get here. Because if we do get a nice 3-bar reversal here, we could get some nice bullish momentum right up to that 73 range that I was talking about much sooner than anticipated. Because if you look at it, we haven't quite broke this trend, and it very well could come right in at the end of this 4 hour candle, close up here, and then we just get that boom stacking momentum where you really see things go parabolic, where you have one parabolic movement, but then you also have another one that just gets even more parabolic than it. So wait for the 4 hour. I think that it'll be an interesting support level to see on Bitcoin here. Otherwise, then we'll probably likely go sideways down to that like 64 range that I was talking about earlier. But as for now, man, all things are firing for bullishness. We're going to get a little bit of sideways. That's just what charts do. We had a nice pump here, nice 6% pump on a Bitcoin. Well, that's a little bit more than 6%, right? Yeah, nice 10% pump on Bitcoin. Wouldn't be silly to have a little bit of sideways before more continuation up. But ultimately, I don't know. I think that we should just target one at a time. 75 and then around that 87 to 85 range. And then if we keep getting a continuation out of that, I think that it'll likely continue to expand up into that 120 range that I have marked out up here. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I'm bullish for now. I'm not in any leveraged long positions, of course, because I think that it's a little extended for my entry here. Like I said, I'm not going to let the market scare me into any positions. I'm going to take the positions that I feel comfortable with. And as of right now, I want to try to snipe an entry right around that 64 rather than take a position now and then just watch the drawdown.
All right, ETH1 asks, Jason, are those gold nuggets on your shirt?
They're bananas, man. What are you talking about? Yeah, they're golden bananas from Mario Kart.
Well, there you go. Mystery solved. With that said, guys, what do you say, Jason?
Bananas.
You want to get into some requests now? What do you say?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, guys, getting into them right now. Mana, look. All right, I'll add that to the request line as well. Stand by. In the meantime, let's go ahead and reveal the first request of the day. Here we go.
So, AAVE was one that I wanted to take last night, but it was a little overextended, and there was 4 other signals that I thought looked better than it, which ended up being a great call anyways. But I would have loved to have been in AAVE here, especially since I waited in a position from here that just never quite took off, and just ended up riding it all the way down until waiting one more day, and then that one day screwed me. And then, of course, we get that buyback all the way. And now I think AAVE looks great here. There's nothing bad to say. I think you're a little late to the party here in the terms of the way I trade, because you would have hit TP1 and TP2 and let 20% of this position ride here. And then let's just see how high it can go. I really do think that AAVE looks very strong to continue here. But I wouldn't advise entering right here. The 3-day is giving you a very good initial long signal. You just don't know what's going to happen in the next 2 days. But in the next 2 days, I think that you might have another opportunity for a snag on AAVE here. But taking it here with 2 days left, you just don't know if you get that. You end up getting sold into, or something wacky happens with Bitcoin or something like that. I think the juice is squeezed for the moment. But I also I think that you missed the boat. I mean, it absolutely could continue. I just don't feel safe saying, like, yeah, go ahead and enter now, right when you're coming up on old resistance, of course, and you haven't broke through it quite yet. ADA does look strong, rising momentum, unnatural volume coming in. Water looks great, but yesterday was the signal. But like I said, I had 4 other signals that looked a little bit better to me, and I had to take those instead, but you can't catch them all. But as for if you're in it, stay in it. But take a little bit of profit in case. But if you're in it, I think that for now, you're safe to continue being in it till you get any kind of exit signal from your oscillators. Looks good.
All right, big shout outs to Ruben Santos. That's the first request of the day. Let's get to Theta as well.
Looks like we're getting a continuation signal on Theta today. Don't like where it's at considering under its resistance. I don't necessarily hate this. If it closes as is, I think that you would be safe to take a shot on this. You could end up seeing another wick down to these levels and then get bought back up. But a close above this would technically be a close above this resistance right here. And pinned right in between there. I usually like to take initial long signals before I take continuation longs, just because they usually backtest a lot better, and there's usually a few more parameters to it, much like not needing water for a continuation and stuff like that. It just kind of helps pinpoint those good trades. But as for a continuation, if it does close like this likely could get another expansion to the upside. I don't think you would be silly for taking a shot on Theta here up to that $8.58 range. I think that would be a nice test regardless. Nice safe TP to make sure that you lock in some profit in case we do decide to reverse here. You are building a nice shelf of support, but you need to get a close like this that's positive today, and then you can take that to the upside. I don't hate this continuation long. It's just not one that I usually like to take, because usually there's enough initial long signals, to be honest with you. But as for a chart formation, it does look positive.
All right. Well, that was a look at Cardano and Theta for our boy Ruben Santos in the live chat. Let's go ahead and get to the next one. We have the following. Anthony Cox on YouTube wants to look at time and Cardano. We've already looked at Cardano, so straight to
Time like a poo
time.
coin or something.
I'm gonna go look. Which time is this? Wonderland time? Is that the one? Time Coin Protocol. Let's go. Chronotech.
I got Madagascar, got Moon Timer Game, Time Token.
Take a look. Chrono.tech. Man, it sounds a bit like Chronobank.
Chronotech token.
I think it is. Yeah, Chronotech, which is time Ethereum, time Bitcoin on KuCoin. It's also on Uniswap. Yeah, you might be able to. That's the one you're looking. Yeah, I think you're the one you just had on KuCoin could have worked as well. Yeah. The BNB pairing.
Does it look the same?
Why don't we chart, go back to trading view and just look at the trading pair time Bitcoin on KuCoin. This is the top trading pair by volume. And do let us know, Anthony Cox, chrono.tech, is this the correct time on you're looking for? In the meantime, let's look at.
It does appear to be building some kind of support here. You don't have any break of trends or anything quite yet. Looks like it's still getting sold into. To be honest with you, this doesn't look like a terrible long signal, but in the terms of the way that this looks like it backtests on this, looks like it gets kind of hammered. So that would have been a good one. Bad, good, bad. Yeah, so I don't like that too much, but I would wait for the break of this trend. If you go sideways here, if this does end up becoming a bottom here, you'll likely squeeze in here and then it'll pop right out. And as soon as you get that pop above, this and close, I think that you're good to take this up. But you definitely need to wait on that. You could take this as a good long signal, and you haven't closed below the 13. You could take this as a low risk entry on a baseline pullback right now, and then just move your stop loss up here with a tight. If you entered now at not 77695, whatever the hell it is, and put a stop at about 70186, which is a pretty tight stop. I don't think that that would be a silly a shot at it if you wanted to take this as a good signal, but I would wait for at least rising momentum to come in first. It appears that there's not yeah, this thing can definitely languish sideways for longer, so I don't think you should do anything with this here. I don't think that the signals test well. It's probably pretty low liquidity in this. Let's look at the weekly. A lot more data here, actually. You know what? I'm going to take some of it back. I think if you hold this level here, this is some nice stair stepping you see here on the weekly. Why did it seem like there was so much less data on the daily? Oh man, this thing has been languishing sideways forever. Look at that basing period, man. I'm going to take it back. I don't hate this. On the weekly, I think that it looks very constructive. I think that you're just getting this boom, 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 and now you're getting that pullback on the weekly continuation that would have been here, which you still would have been in. With rising volatility currently coming in. I don't hate this anymore, to be honest with you. On the weekly, I think you could take a shot at it. And the daily, possibly this could be your signal. Looking at the weekly and that long basing period, I would take a shot on this if this was something that I was trading, because it does have a lot of upside potential. Let's look at the monthly. Yeah, I think a test of the bottom of that shelf is in order at some point. And with the way that this is going, by the end of the month, you'll probably know. So that's about 100% gain on that coin. Yeah, like I said, do with that what you will, but the weekly looks great. The daily did give you 2 in a row that were bad. Usually they come in 3s. But looking at taking a low risk entry here, I like this for an entry. So I'm going to mark this day. And we'll come back to it at some point. Pretend we entered right there. But we'll come back to it at the end of the day, just kind of see what it looks like. Been meaning to get myself a KuCoin account anyways. But I think, yeah, take that with what you will. It is building support here, kind of curling up. But again, wait for that break of trend. You could take this as a low-risk entry off this signal. But again, do with that what you will.
All right, rather extensive look at Chronotech time. Man, reminds me of that damn Chrono Bank I used to own. All right, getting into the next request. I'm sure Jason's already ahead of me on this one, but it's MATIC for GT Jack on Twitch. Hey team, when you get there, I'd love to take a look at MATIC USDT. All right.
Well, to be honest with you, MATIC's giving you a full-blown short on the daily. Not looking very strong at all. Pretty pronounced downtrend here. Just kind of immediately getting sold into. But with how bullish the market is, I mean, you could take this as a hedge, but coming back down to test this shelf, I'm going to be a little patient on jumping into shorts when we're looking the way that we are. But this does not look good for a long to me. Let's look at the 3-day. No, I think a baseline bounce is in order on the 3-day, at least. Come down to there. Yeah, and got this exit signal yesterday on MATIC. Now we're getting sold into. Not surprising to see. 3-day actually does very well. This actually probably will end up being a shooting star pattern. Today will confirm that, I think. You need 2 candles after the initial doji, the hammer doji or the gravestone doji. 2 candles after to kind of let you know that this is likely to be a shooting star pattern, which means that we'll likely come down and test these levels before we get a reversal. So, I mean, if you would like to take that, well, you have to wait. Actually, it's a 3-day, sorry. So you have to wait 2 more days for that. But as for today, it likely will close a full short signal. So that's either get out of MATIC or, I mean, at this point, you shouldn't be getting into it here. There's a lot of downside that's possible, but it could end up being a good short signal, intraday short, because it's likely to come down here and test that. So maybe I'll even think about doing that as a hedge against some of the long positions that I have in case we do get sold into and then they all end up stopping out. I don't want to lose out on that profit just because I'm scared to take a short. But it's a full short signal. I would like to see a rising explosion level, certainly during such a bullish time in the market. But again, do with that what you will. Not looking very strong here on MATIC at all.
All right, well, there was your look at MATIC, guys. Dear D-Livians, get ready. That chest is going to be coming your way in about 7 minutes? Yeah, 7 minutes time again to that chest. In the meantime, to introduce the next request, we have XEC ZEC for Alex81SG. Could we look at ZEC USDT? Not on Binance, please. Huobi, I think, has more data, he says. All right, ZEC on Huobi.
Huobi. Well, with yesterday's close above this previous close here, or was it? Let me see here. Open 19.719. Close. Oh man, it's the exact same level. It closed at the exact same price, which is kind of wild. But that actually doesn't really make sense. And oh, it must have pumped right off of that close. Okay, so looking at this continuation doesn't look that bad. You got a full signal here, which you would have taken, and it wicked up and then hit TP1, and now you would have stopped out at break even. That's the way I like to trade, just because it's not too often that you just get the markets just to continue to the upside like we're starting to see here. Because often you just have to catch a chunk and then you got to get out. But this would have been a great trade already, in and out. But the continuation here, I don't think you're silly for, if you're still in it, to be in it. At least to come up here and test the under shelf. This is very likely scenario in my opinion, to at least come up and test the median. And like when you get patterns like this, you usually at least get that swing failure pattern. So you'll likely get that continuation up to that 21, 22, 1. Range right here, and then you'll either get sold into and then end up crashing from here, or you'll get continuation up out of it. But taking the continuation from here, I don't think is the worst choice. You'll know to get out if you hit this hit this stop loss for sure, because if you get this low, then you're definitely likely to test lower. So I think the risk to reward is there. Taking the position here above the baseline, and then using any close below that 13 at around 19.8. Use that as an early exit signal, because if you close back below here, you're likely to keep testing to the downside. But I do like the continuation here with rising momentum. So XEC, I do think, could continue to the upside here for the rest of the week.
All right, big shout out to yeah, it was Alex81SG for the request on XEC, Zach. All right, getting into the next one. What do we have here? TRIAS, or any word. You found this one already? Oh, it looks like you did.
No, I haven't. But
yeah,
it's an interesting chart.
It looks like yeah.
Its last swing, to be honest with you. Like, I bet if you put a fib on this thing is just like a textbook swing. Hold on, let me get this off. Stand it out anyways. Yeah, I mean, look at this thing just behave within its levels, and then coming right back up here to test this level. I would not be interested in getting in this chart right here, because I think there's way too much white noise here. You'd wait for support here. If I was in this, I would be taking some profit, especially with all this bearish divergence that you're starting to get. Higher highs, lower lows on your oscillators. I think that it's completed its fib retracement, and you'll likely get a test down here to that 14 range, if not a complete sweep back down to these lows. Very interesting chart, but I don't like how it hasn't come back down and tested. Look for it to keep this trend though. If it maintains this trend, you could get that full one, and then if you do get that price discovery, the next target would be around that 48 range. So wait for this trend to break. If you do continue to get expanding volatility out of this, you're not going to break this to the downside, and then it'll be a good trade to the upside. And then you could likely, if you get price to close back above this continuation long, take the signal on the close back above that like 27 range, because then you're likely to get that continuation to the upside. But from here, I think that it's kind of beautifully swung back up in kind of one motion here, and it can likely fail. So yeah, a baseline bounce here, like I marked out here at 14, is coinciding very beautifully with that weekly baseline that I think that you're likely to test anywhere between that $10 and $14 range. But we just don't know. You could end up getting that straight continuation. Like I said, any close above that $27 range again, I think that's where you should be looking to get along on this again. And if you break back below your 13 here, then I think that you're likely to go sideways, if not come back down here and test these lower levels. But very, very interesting chart, man.
All right, well, that was an extended look at TRIAS. Could you hide the your notepad section there? Tuck that back.
Didn't even know it was there.
Yeah, there we go. Much better. Thank you, sir. All right, let's get into the next one. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're about a minute to go for the D-Live giveaway. Yeah, 20 seconds to go. Here is your heads up, guys. Probably by the time you hear this message, you're going to see that message flash on your screen. To claim your lemons, get your lemons. In the meantime, let's go look at RVST. This looks like a tradition. Is this the crypto? Oh, okay, yeah. This is probably it then.
No. I mean, it's kind of a wonky chart on the daily, but you do have some break of trends here that are important to note. Kind of broke through right there, and coming back up and gaining some support here. 12-hour giving you a continuation with a close above there. I do think that looks good, to be honest with you. Looking at this, the close right here would be basically the same thing as taking that, and you've gained some support. So I don't think that it's silly to be involved in this the coin right here on a day like today. I think that you're likely to keep getting a little bit of price appreciation, at least up to that TP1 level of 63.76, which, I mean, still a nice gain on the day, and then you can lock that in, and then if price keeps rolling, then let it go. But I think there's an opportunity here. This looks like you're definitely get some bullish impulses. The daily and the 12-hour look good, but wait for that 12-hour close. So you'll have to wait for the daily close, I think, in order to really know. Any close back above this level of 57.9640, where the November 2nd candle closed. Any close above that, I think, is bullish for continuation. So yeah, I think that there's a trade here.
All right, well, that was a look at RVST. Congrats to David Rice coming in first in today's lemon giveaway. Times are tough now. We don't give away too many lemons, not like the way we used to. With that said, thank you again to everybody who kicked it with us for the lemon section. Let's get into the next request. What do we have here? Oh, it's PERP. Yes, PERP, please.
Well, it looks like PERP got the good continuation signal right here, close above resistance, and then you almost wicked up to it, but you stayed in it because you never closed below, and today would have been the day you finally hit it, and now you're getting sold into again right at resistance. I don't think that this looks crazy strong. I think that there's definitely stronger looking things out there right now. But if you're in it and haven't taken any profit, I would say you're safe to stay in it until that 17.27 range. If you close back below there, then I think that you're going to rip down here to your 200 EMA. I think there's better things out there right now, considering the resistance you're running into and how many times you've seen that. So nothing for me to do. I don't think it looks that strong. It's just nothing to me. Nothing yet. I just need more evidence of something.
All right, well, that was a look at PERP. That was straight to the point. Let's go ahead and get to the next request. We have the following: DFI for Poly B.
Well,
DFI USDT.
I mean, it's had a great run, man. I mean, I think that a test of the 100 EMA is definitely in order. When you run through price like this, you usually cut right back through to the midway point, and then whether you end up being bullish or bearish is how you end up closing. That either ends up being a bullish engulfing candle, or you end up having a bearish engulfing that closes back below here. But I think that the signal was here, was great. You would have smoked all 3 TPs from here. Now today you're getting that to exit signal on Minx. Not quite yet on time transformation. So if you're in it, I would take some profit, and then you could sit in it and kind of see. You'll likely get some sideways action here, in my opinion. So I mean, taking profit here wouldn't be the worst idea, but depending on where your entry was, take out what you need and move on, because micromanaging these things is not the way to do it. If you're gonna take the position on the daily, you need to be ready to wait up to, I mean, sometimes weeks. I mean, I've had to wait a couple weeks in positions. I don't enjoy it, but it's just what happens. But if you're in it right now, no real reason to exit. Well, I guess if you're taking the Minx crossover, but you have to wait for the daily close. But you've had a great run here.
All
Could
right.
continue the upside, but I think that you'll likely get a baseline pullback to that 200 EMA, where all your EMAs currently are after that nice explosion to the upside.
Brilliant. That would be it for DFI. Let's go ahead and get to the next one. We have Uno. Uno for David Rice requesting Uno on KuCoin. All right, let's look at Uno on KuCoin.
I mean, I really do like this close above resistance here. Your continuation here. This didn't actually map well for a continuation. Oh, this one did. Actually, this one really a great one. Not quite yet. Time transformation is giving the signal. Actually, you probably would have got that yesterday. Looks like you did get that close yesterday. So beautiful time transformation snipe there on this one, which would have been your entry yesterday, and you would have actually already hit TP1. But I really don't like that it's right up here at resistance. It is building a nice little shelf for continuation, but I don't like taking things right when they're at resistance. Let it prove to me that it's gonna go. I think that there's stronger things out there that have more room that we can catch, but pay attention to that trend. Could continue to get more continued upside here, but like I said, I don't like taking things right at resistance. Wait for the break. I think a close above 91 though would be a fair shot to take it up to another level.
All right, brilliant. Uno is in the bag this Tuesday afternoon. Still a few minutes left in the show. Let's try to get the next request off the list. It's NTVRK. If it's findable, says Polly B. NTVRK.
I think I found something on KuCoin.
Network.
A while ago.
Let's have a look here. Top trading pair KuCoin on USDT. Yeah, man.
All right. Well, nothing to really say here. This does look like that type of 3-bar play continuation that I was talking about with Bitcoin on the 3-day that I think is likely to play out maybe something like this. If you go to Bitcoin real quick. On the 3-day here, I think it looks very, very similar to, let's go to, boom. Do that. TVRK, USDT. Oh. NTV. No. Let's look at the daily on that. As you can see, looking at the daily and then looking at the 3-day here on Bitcoin, I think that this is actually evidence to me. What I would think is we're likely to get a pullback on Bitcoin that mimics this on the 3-day. So maybe the next week or so, we kind of just slowly dissipate down. And now when Bitcoin starts to do that, to go sideways, we're likely going to see these the alts get a little bit of attention. So I do think that you need to watch this for a break back above this level here, a close back below 4.67 on tomorrow's candle, I think would be a good initiation that your price is likely to run up to the upside here again. So keep an eye on that, but I do think it's going to end up being a very, very similar pattern. And a break below, well, you'll have to wait till tomorrow's close. You can't do anything until you have tomorrow's close, because if price does just run on you and this ends up being a three black crows pattern instead of a reversal pattern, then you're going to really regret being in that from here, because it's going to drop probably all the way back down to that shelf of 309. So tomorrow would be the day to look to take this, and then you can snipe it early on a close above that 4.7 range. But I do like this pattern because this is what I meant when I was talking about earlier on the 3-day, that we could just kind of languish sideways, boom, 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 and then get that fourth candle that buys us straight back up. So I think keep an eye on it. Nothing to quite do here, but a break above that on tomorrow's candle, I think you could take that as a solid 3-bar reversal. Which, I mean, it is marching up, and it's only made one wick to the upside here with this swing, and I think that you likely need another swing up there to be a swing failure. So keep an eye on it. I think tomorrow will be the day you'll know.
All right, cool beans. That's network. So let's get coin. Yeah, checking in on smoke that on YouTube. Litecoin is foreshadowing. What does Litecoin do when it breaks?
Litecoin was one of those ones that I wanted to take yesterday real bad because of this close above resistance, but it was just a little far from my baseline, and I had a bunch of other trades that were super close. So I don't regret that, but I do hold some spots. So go Litecoin, go. The continuation here was yesterday. You've already smoked through all of these. If you're in it, I think you're safe to stay in it for a while. Rising momentum, everything looks good. I think you can take this up at least up to that 294 range where you have this other shelf. But then again, looking at the weekly, I mean, don't get too greedy. I think that you're coming right up on resistance here as well. So if you are in it, I think you should take some profit, and then you could likely get a little bit more continuation out of it. But if we do reverse from here, you're going to regret not taking profit at what is a historical resistance level. But yeah, should have been in it yesterday.
Coulda, shoulda. All right. Okay.
Come on.
Let's continue. Get a couple. Just Ethan, can we check a BSW? BitSwap.
BitSwap? BIS?
That time at this. Top trading pair happens to. Oh, it's a pancake swap. What's this? Oh.
Definitely had some good price appreciation. Part of me thinks that this looks like it would likely end up being a continuation. Just looking at, I think that this is just a mini ascending triangle with a throwback and then continuation. I think that this is likely to continue to the upside. There's not much data on it, so just do with that what you will. Just looking at it from a technical standpoint. Usually at the beginning when you start to get ascending triangles like this on lower time frames with that little bit of throwback, this is another one of those 3-bar reversals. You didn't quite get the initiation, but this candle gave it to you on the close back above this close. So I do think that this looks good for more upside, but there's very little data, so take that with what you will. And if you are, just make sure that you're taking profits, because don't think that this thing's just going to go straight up to $10. It's going to go up to, say, like $1.75 and then maybe throw back. So unless you're investing in these things super long term, then I think you should be trading them differently and making sure that you have take profits on the books while you're doing it. But this doesn't necessarily look bad. Volume does seem to be waning here on an uptick right under resistance. So wait for the daily close. This candle still is unshaven on the shaven on the daily, and they don't usually close like that. So that tells me that you could get a pullback intraday, which would be probably a little bit of a rejection. But you could actually take that as a 3-bar play on the sense that it's gotten a higher high here. So things do look good for it, but there's not very much data. Any break below that $1.16, get out of it.
That was a look at PSW on PooCoin.app. And let's go.
Is that another PooCoin one?
No, this is actually an Ethereum-based token. Top trending pair. SAITO.
Well, SAITO is not looking good at all, my friends. This is why you don't buy, like, lower lows usually beget lower lows. Like, yeah, it does look like an interesting spot to enter into it because it's making all-time lows, but that doesn't mean it's going to get bought back up. And this trend is very strong. And it appears to be accelerating with rising momentum and a natural volume coming in. So this probably is about the time that people are going to be shaken out. You just don't know how low it's going to go. In the weekly, it's the lowest it's ever been. So, I mean, if you're into catching knives and trying for like a white coffee and spring action here, go for it. But that's just not the way I trade.
Pretty ugly.
It looks ugly, man.
Shout outs to Joan. Love the show. There. So, also wants to look at a Unido.
What?
Called the Unido. NID. Up. Unido EP1. Let me see it. All of us. Here, and we're low on time, so I can't quite isolate this one. Go cover it. But in the meantime, let's get into one of the rock coin. Want to get
LTT. I think that this looks like a very solid signal. The close like this is going to be beautiful. I'll be taking this signal today. We got to wait till the daily close, but you're closing back above all of these levels. A nice shelf of support here. I think that, and look at all this room that we have left to test up here. This is definitely worth the shot, even if it does end up screwing me. I love this signal, and this is something that I'm going to be taking at the end of the day for sure. Love this close above support. As you can see right now, momentum is actually in the process of shifting. It keeps flashing yellow and black here. I'm really hoping to see that close yellow by the end of the day, because that rising momentum has always been just a killer. Once you start getting rising momentum, it usually is a really good entry signal into the position. So looking at XLM here, I think that it's going to be a great opportunity to take this up to the next level. I'm going to be taking XLM at the end of the day if it closes anything like this.
Alright, that was a look at Stellar. He's got another one he wants us to look at. Boris Bitcoin, let's look at AAVE.
AAVE was one I wanted to take yesterday, but just didn't have enough momentum. It would have been a good signal. Hasn't quite hit TP1 yet, so I don't actually know if it would have been a good signal. But rising momentum, as you can see here. As you can see here, just didn't quite get over the dead zone on AAVE yesterday, so I couldn't take the signal. But it does appear to be strong here. Rising momentum, and water's coming in now. Close above here. I don't think you'd be silly to take this up to 364 if you close up today above this resistance level at 339.1. I don't think that would be a silly trade at all. But as for me, sometimes my system just misses it, so. You don't have to catch them all to make money, baby.
My mic cutting out again. What seems to be going on? Very, very odd. Let's see here. He says we looked at the wrong SAITO charts. Guys, these coins are exceptional mistakes. But with that said, we will maybe round back to it. We only got a couple minutes left in the show. We're already running into the overtime segment. Knock out what's left on.
Yeah, we're looking at Cream here. I don't think Cream is a terrible look to for a knife catch, to be honest with you. But there's nothing here that's really screaming, try to get into it now, right? You did get a break of trend here a little bit with an exit signal on the daily with some rising momentum now, but there's just nothing you can do with this quite yet. And if it keeps breaking down from here, it's likely to keep testing even lower down to these lows, and that's quite the candle. So this is why I just don't trade reversals like this. Yeah, I think that there's a lot more room on the weekly for this thing to come down and test these lows. And as Justin would point out here, usually these order blocks right on these reversals get tested at some point. So take with that what you will, but the weekly looks terrible on this thing. Cream does not look good at all. Nothing points to buy. And then we had CATGIRL. What the fuck?
See if CATGIRL comes up.
Pancake swap?
Yep.
I mean, we're getting some nice appreciation here, but what the hell am I supposed to do with this data? I mean, I would think that you actually do get a test up here, but that's actually, it says 0. Yeah, like even where price is now, it says 0, so I don't even know what this is. Well, it's down, it's lower than that, man.
Well, with a name like CATGIRL, I'm not sure how much we can. But let's get into the day, and we controlling interesting. All right, Meta.
I think that you just need to watch this downtrend, because I think that with the pump that Mana got, you're likely to keep languishing sideways a little bit here, and then come back down here to even test the top of this shelf here. Could be one of those ones that just gets the pump and then all of a sudden you just start languishing sideways. What I would do is watch for a break of this trend. Watch for this baseline bounce here. It does appear that we're getting some kind of support out of it. But once you break back above this trend line, you're definitely going to end up getting that long on your oscillator, which is going to end up being a continuation, which means that you won't necessarily need a watt of confirmation for that momentum because it's a continuation to the upside. So wait for that. Could end up being interesting, but until you get that trend break, I think that you're more likely to end up bleeding out here than getting a push to the upside. But anything can happen. And then I saw that BFO did say a bit. They took a trade on that yesterday.
Get the last
Hey Jack, this is where I told you to enter.
Yeah.
1.854. That's where I have a very low leverage long that I'm gonna wait for a year on.
Still have a bunch of sitting there.
Well, they're adding new stuff every day, so.
I mean.
But the continuation here, I see what you took. It does appear that you're getting some nice continuation, and if you get that close back above here, that you're like, if you close as is above that $2.88, absolutely keep it. But you did get close to your TP1 here. You could get some sideways action. You just don't know in the meantime. Not a lot of data. It's been marching up very well. This is one of those coins that I'm like, I hope it ends up being like BNB. Like, oh, remember back when Bit was at $2.80? Like, that's why I'm putting some away just in case. But I think you're good to be in this. Everything looks right for the continuation. You don't necessarily need the momentum, but there's not really enough data to really gauge that. But the 12-hour looking pretty solid here. You just have to see if you end up keeping this support here. If not, you might go a little sideways, come down here and test 270. But ultimately, I think you're good for now. Could end up getting some oscillator crosses in the coming days, but you'll just have to wait until that. You know how the game goes, B-Flow.
Currently does.
You've been doing it long enough.
I think that. Okay. I'm going to overtime, but off to you. But you knocked out another.
I did see someone just mention Xavier, and I wanted to point it out as well because it is giving me a full long signal today. Uni's been one that's been just kind of dodging me, man. Like, Every single one I've taken, well, if I got out of uni here on this close below because I've been burned too many times. A small loss on it, but then it went and popped up anyways. But giving another long signal today, and like I said, these things usually come in threes, like the shelf that it's ended up building here. And there's that square reversal pattern that I like to talk about. Like it kind of mirrors itself and then holds its own support. I think Uni's likely to get this continuation to the upside for the first time to take up to that 28.17 range. I think Uni does look good here. I would like to see rising momentum, but by the end of the day, you could end up getting that.
All right. All right. I see a lot of complaints that my mic is still acting up, guys. I think I'm trying to tweak it right now. Bear with me right now. I think it might be to do with this OBS noise gate. Yeah, that's probably what it is. I see myself coming in pretty low. Yeah, something's up with my mic today, guys. I apologize. Let me just go quickly see if this fixes it. But we're about to get out of here. That's it, man. Had a great episode. Big shout outs to Jason. Really made it happen. Am I better? I think I am. I think this is helping a little bit, but I gotta tweak with this after. I'll play with this on the way out. You know what to do, guys. Check out premium.cracking.cryptocurrency.com. Checking all our education material. It's getting beefed up right now. Keep your eye on it because we also do have a Black Friday sale coming up, I believe, later this month. So if you do check out our premium content, find that it's something you're interested in. Maybe hold off a couple of weeks, snag yourself a healthy discount. The Black Friday deal comes your way, hinting at right now, probably by the end of the month or whenever Black Friday lands for Americans. You know, you guys have your Thanksgiving in November and all that. But with that said, guys, anything else I need to add? Not really. Tomorrow is Wednesday, of course, so we will be back with the Wednesday update hosted by Alex. Alex will be here to take you through the Wednesday market update. Beyond that, thank you all. Came out again today. Much love to you guys. If we missed any requests like this one, why is Dot not going up? Well, Dot's had a good run, and we'll talk about
a great run, man.
Yeah, we'll talk about
That's
Dot.
why you got to make sure you're paying attention to resistance levels because they ultimately make the same shape, but the timing's the difference because some of them get an early pump that just sweeps it all the way through their retracements. Some of them just stair step. And that's why you need to look for those spaces that white noise hasn't been filled. And there's a lot of those out there that, like I say, I think that's a better opportunity rather than longing something at resistance.
Word. Shout outs to Mr. Z Devon on YouTube for that one. You know, we will be back tomorrow. If you want to take a closer look at the polka dot chart, you'll get the chance tomorrow. Alex will be here and we'll review polka dot and a whole lot more. Much love to you guys. Let's get out of here, Jason. What do you say?
Yep, let's do it, buddy. To everyone out there, I think that things look bullish. I want to be bullish. Wouldn't be shocked by a little bit of a pullback out of Bitcoin here to that 64. But if we blow right through, thank God. Like, let's do it. I wanna party just as much as the rest of you guys because I don't not make money if it goes up faster than it. But I'm just anticipating a little bit of sideways because I mean that's usually what happens a little bit. We've had a good pump here, a nice relief, and then hopefully volatility expands to the upside. But until then, we just kind of got to be patient and wait for our opportunities.
For sure. Catch us in the Discord. Don't forget the links and the timestamps will be in the description on YouTube below. Check out that replay. Much love to you guys. Peace out. Till tomorrow.
Goodbye.